demonstrate the usage of Mason's gain formula to derive the transfer function of a given signal flow graph. What is Mason's gain formula? The transfer function P of is equal to 1 by delta sigma Pk delta K. We have to find the K. K is number of forward paths. Here, X is the input, X2 is the output. So, how many forward paths are there? This is one forward path. This is second forward path. This is third forward path. This is fourth forward path. Fourth forward path is this. So there are 4 forward paths. Therefore, K equal to 4. K equal to 4. Now we have to find the P1. P1 is first forward path. What is the gain? G1, G2, G3, G6, G6, G7, G8. Delta 1 equal to 1 because no part of graph which is not touching the forward path. So P2 equal to, let us assume this is the second forward path. So what is that? Instead of G2, G3, it is G4, G6, G7, G8, delta 2 also equal to 1. P3 equal to, this is the third forward path. So in that case, G1, G2, G3 is as such, G1, G2, G3, instead of G6, G7, G5 is there. G8, delta 3 also equal to 1. No part of graph which is not touching the forward path. Then it is there, but it doesn't have any loop. Then P4 equal to G1, G4, G5, G8, and delta 4 equal to 1. So all forward paths are over. Loops, how many loops are there? This is loop 1, loop 2. Loop 3 is this G3, G5, H2. This is loop 3. Loop 4 is G4, G4, G6, G7, G6, G7, G8, and H1. H1. This is loop 4. Loop 5 is this is G5. This is G2, G3, G8. This is loop 5. Then loop 6 is there. G4, G5, H1. This is loop 6. So now we have to write the delta. Delta equal to 1 minus sum of gain products of individual loops. L1 is what? G3, G6, G7, H2 plus L2 is what? G2, G3, G6, G7, G8, H1 plus L3 is G2, G5, H2. Then L4 is G4, G6, G7, G8, H1 plus L5 is G2, G3, G5, G8, H1 plus G5 here, G8 and H1. Therefore, look G4, G5, G8, H1. Any non-touching loops? All are touching each other. All are touching each other. Therefore, no two non-touching loops. Therefore, T of S equal to G1, G2, G3, G6, G7, G8 plus delta 1 equal to 1. G1, G4, G6, G7, G8 plus G1, G2, G3, G5, G8 plus G1, G4, G5, G8 whole divided by delta. That is 1 minus G3, G6, G7, H2 plus G2, G3, G6, G7, G8, H1 plus G2, G5, H2 plus G4, G6, G7, G8, H1 plus G2, G3, G5, G8, H1 plus G4, G5, G8, H1. That's all.